Question 1. What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? The correct answer is D. Brake gently in plenty of time. In snowy conditions, be careful with the steering, accelerator and brakes. Braking sharply while you're driving on snow is likely to make your car skid. Question 2. A single carriageway road has this sign. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? The correct answer is C. 50 miles per hour. When you're towing a trailer, a reduced speed limit also applies on dual carriageways and motorways. These lower speed limits apply to vehicles pulling all sorts of trailers, including caravans and horse boxes. Question 3. You want to park and you see this sign. What should you do on the days and times shown? The correct answer is D. Park in bay and pay. Parking restrictions apply in a variety of places and situations. Make sure you know the rules and understand where and when restrictions apply. Controlled parking areas will be indicated by signs and road markings. Parking in the wrong place could cause an obstruction and danger to other traffic. It can also result in a fine. Question 4. What could you do to reduce the volume of traffic on the roads? The correct answer is C. Walk or cycle on short journeys. Try not to use your car as a matter of routine. For shorter journeys, consider walking or cycling instead. This is much better for both you and the environment. Question 5. Which sign means that there may be people walking along the road? The correct answer is D. Always check the road signs. Triangular signs are warning signs. They inform you about hazards ahead and help you to anticipate any problems. There are a number of different signs showing pedestrians. Learn the meaning of each one. Question 6. You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? The correct answer is A. On a steep gradient. Large, slow-moving vehicles can hinder the progress of other traffic. On a steep gradient, an extra crawler lane may be provided for slow-moving vehicles to allow faster-moving traffic to flow more easily. Question 7. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is C. End of minimum speed. The red slash through the sign indicates that the restriction has ended. In this case, the restriction was a minimum speed limit of 30 miles per hour. Question 8. What does a sign with a brown background show? The correct answer is A. I tourist directions. Signs with a brown background give directions to places of interest. They're often seen on a motorway, directing you along the easiest route to the attraction. Question 9. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is A. Crossroads. The priority through the junction is shown by the broader line. You need to be aware of the hazard posed by traffic crossing or pulling out onto a major road. Question 10. What information would be shown in a triangular road sign? The correct answer is A. Road narrows. Warning signs are there to make you aware of potential hazards on the road ahead. Take note of the signs so you're prepared and can take whatever action is necessary. Question 11. Which sign means that pedestrians may be walking along the road? The correct answer is A. When you pass pedestrians in the road, leave plenty of room. You might have to use the right-hand side of the road, so look well ahead, as well as in your mirrors, before pulling out. Take great care if a bend in the road obscures your view ahead. Question 12. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is D. The right-hand lane is closed. Yellow and black temporary signs may be used to inform you about roadworks or lane restrictions. Look well ahead. If you have to change lanes, do so in good time. Question 13. What's the main hazard the driver of the red car, arrowed, should be aware of? The correct answer is C. The bus may move out into the road. If you can do so safely, give way to buses signaling to move off at bus stops. Try to anticipate the actions of other road users around you. The driver of the red car should be prepared for the bus pulling out. As you approach a bus stop, look to see how many passengers are waiting to board. If the last one has just got on, the bus is likely to move off. Question 14. You're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? The correct answer is D. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. Never overtake on the left, unless the traffic is moving in queues and the queue on your right is moving more slowly than the one you're in. Question 15. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is D. Zebra crossing ahead. Look well ahead and be ready to stop for any pedestrians crossing, or about to cross, the road. Also check the pavements for anyone who looks like they might step or run into the road. Question 16. What should you do to avoid fuel spillage? The correct answer is D. Check that your filler cap is securely fastened. When learning to drive, it's a good idea to practice filling your car with fuel. Ask your instructor if you can use a petrol station and fill the fuel tank yourself. You need to know where the filler cap is on the car you're driving, so you know which side of the pump to park at. Take care not to overfill the tank and make sure you secure the filler cap correctly, so that no fuel leaks onto the road while you're driving. Question 17. What should you do if a vehicle pulls out in front of you at a junction? The correct answer is C. Slow down and be ready to stop. Try to anticipate what other drivers might do. Look and plan ahead so that you're ready to respond safely if a hazard develops. Be tolerant of road users who make mistakes. Question 18. What should you do if your vehicle catches fire while you're driving through a tunnel? The correct answer is D. Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so. If it's possible, and you can do so without causing further danger, it may be safer to drive a vehicle that's on fire out of a tunnel. The greatest danger in a tunnel fire is smoke and suffocation. Question 19. What should you do first if your vehicle has broken down on an automatic railway level crossing? The correct answer is A. Get everyone out of the vehicle and clear of the crossing. First, get yourself and anyone else well away from the crossing. If there's a railway telephone, use that to get instructions from the signal operator. Then, if there's time, move the vehicle clear of the crossing. Question 20. When should you use the left-hand lane of a motorway? The correct answer is D. When the road ahead is clear. You should drive in the left-hand lane whenever possible. Only use the other lanes for overtaking or when directed to do so by signals. Using other lanes when the left-hand lane is empty can frustrate drivers behind you. Question 21. You're reversing into a side road. When would your vehicle be the greatest hazard to passing traffic? The correct answer is D. When the front of your vehicle swings out. Always check in all directions before reversing. Keep a good lookout throughout the maneuver and remember that the front will swing out as you reverse into the side road. Act on what you see and wait if necessary. Question 22. What should you remove from your car before leaving it unattended? The correct answer is D. The vehicle registration document. Never leave the vehicle registration document inside your car. This document would help a thief to dispose of your car more easily. Question 23. You service your own vehicle. How should you dispose of the old engine oil? The correct answer is A. Take it to a local authority site. It's illegal to pour engine oil down any drain. Oil is a pollutant and harmful to wildlife. Dispose of it safely at an authorized site. Question 24. You're stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you'll be waiting there for some time? The correct answer is A. Switch off the engine. If your vehicle is stationary and is likely to remain so for some time, you must switch off the engine unless you're stationary in traffic or diagnosing a fault. Question 25. How can you avoid wheel spin when you're driving on an icy road? The correct answer is A. Drive at a slow speed in the highest gear possible. If you're traveling on an icy road, extra caution will be required to avoid loss of control. Keeping your speed down and using the highest gear possible will reduce the risk of the tires losing their grip on this slippery surface. Question 26. What should you do when you park a car facing downhill? The correct answer is A. Turn the steering wheel towards the curb. Turning the wheels towards the curb will allow them to act as a chock, preventing any forward movement of the vehicle. It will also help to leave your car in gear, or select a park if you have an automatic. Question 27. You're driving on an open road in dry weather. What distance should you keep from the vehicle in front? The correct answer is A. A 2-second time gap. One way of checking there's a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front is to use the 2-second rule. To check for a 2-second time gap, choose a stationary object ahead, such as a bridge or road sign. When the car in front passes the object, say only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. If you reach the object before you finish saying the phrase, you're too close and need to increase the gap. Question 28. How should you use anti-lock brakes when you need to stop in an emergency? The correct answer is C. Brake promptly and firmly until you've stopped. If you have ABS and need to stop in an emergency, keep your foot firmly on the brake pedal until the vehicle has stopped. When the ABS operates, you may hear a grating sound and feel vibration through the brake pedal. This is normal and you should maintain pressure on the brake pedal until the vehicle stops. Question 29. You're driving on a motorway at night. Which light should you have on if there are other vehicles just ahead of you? The correct answer is D. The dipped headlights. If you're driving behind other traffic on the motorway at night, use dipped headlights. Main beam headlights will dazzle the other drivers. Your headlight's dip beam should fall short of the vehicle in front. Question 30. When would you increase the pressure in your tires so that it's above the normal value? The correct answer is D. When carrying a heavy load. Check the vehicle handbook. This should give you guidance on the correct tire pressures for your vehicle and when you may need to adjust them. If you're carrying a heavy load, you may need to adjust the headlights as well. Most cars have a switch on the dashboard to do this. Question 31. You've driven up to Applicant crossing. What must you do while the amber light is flashing? The correct answer is C. Give way to any pedestrians on the crossing. The flashing amber light allows pedestrians already on the crossing to get to the other side before a green light shows to the traffic. Be aware that some pedestrians, such as older people and young children, need longer to cross. Let them do this at their own pace. Question 32. What should you do if your mobile phone rings while you're driving or riding? The correct answer is C. Leave it until you have stopped in a safe place. It's illegal to use a handheld mobile or similar device when driving or riding, except in a genuine emergency. The safest option is to switch off your mobile phone before you set off and use a message service. If you've forgotten to switch your phone off and it rings, you should leave it. When you've stopped in a safe place, you can see who called and return the call if necessary. Question 33. Why are these yellow lines painted across the road? The correct answer is C. To make you aware of your speed. These lines are often found on the approach to a roundabout or a dangerous junction. They give you extra warning to adjust your speed. Look well ahead and do this in good time. Question 34. What should you do if you're being followed by an ambulance showing flashing blue lights? The correct answer is A. Pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. Pull over in a place where the ambulance can pass safely. Check that there are no bollards or obstructions in the road that will prevent it from passing. Question 35. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? The correct answer is A. The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. Your tires are your only contact with the road. To prevent problems with braking and steering, keep your tires free from defects. They must have sufficient tread depth and be correctly inflated. Correct tire pressures help reduce the risk of skidding and provide a safer and more comfortable drive or ride. Question 36. What should you expect if you see this sign ahead? The correct answer is C. The road will bend sharply to the left. This sign indicates that the road will bend sharply to the left. Slow down in plenty of time and select the correct gear before you start to turn. Braking hard and late, while also sharply changing direction, is likely to cause a skid. Question 37. You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? The correct answer is D. They're deaf and blind. When someone is deaf as well as blind, they may carry a white stick with a red reflective band or bands. They may not be aware that you're approaching and they may not be able to hear anything, so, for example, your horn would be ineffective as a warning to them. Question 38. You're about to overtake a slow-moving motorcyclist. Which sign would make you take special care? The correct answer is A. In windy weather, watch out for motorcyclists and also cyclists, as they can be blown sideways into your path. When you pass them, leave plenty of room and check their position in your mirror before pulling back in. Question 39. You're traveling in very heavy rain. How is this likely to affect your overall stopping distance? The correct answer is A. It will be doubled. The road will be very wet and spray from other vehicles will reduce your visibility. Tire grip will also be reduced, increasing your stopping distance. You should at least double your separation distance to make sure you can stop safely in the space you've allowed. Question 40. What should you do if you see a large box fall from a lorry onto the motorway? The correct answer is A. Go to the next emergency telephone and report the hazard. Lorry drivers can be unaware of objects falling from their vehicles. If you see something fall onto a motorway, look to see if the driver pulls over. If they do not stop, do not attempt to retrieve the object yourself. Pull onto the hard shoulder near an emergency telephone and report the hazard. Question 41. What color are the reflective studs between the lanes on a motorway? The correct answer is C. White. White studs are found between the lanes on motorways. They reflect back the light from your headlights. This is especially useful in bad weather when visibility is restricted. Question 42. You're looking for somewhere to park at night. When may you park on the right-hand side of the road? The correct answer is A. When you're in a one-way street. Red rear reflectors show up when headlights shine on them. These are useful when you're parked at night, but they'll only reflect if you park in the same direction as the traffic flow. Normally you should park on the left, but in a one-way street you may also park on the right-hand side of the road. Question 43. What should you do if you see a pedestrian waiting at a zebra crossing? The correct answer is C. Be ready to slow down or stop to let them cross. By standing on the pavement, the pedestrian is showing an intention to cross. By looking well ahead, you'll give yourself time to see the pedestrian, check your mirrors and respond safely. Question 44. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is A. A maximum speed limit with traffic calming. If you're in a place where there are likely to be pedestrians, for example, outside a school, near a park, in a residential area or in a shopping area, you should be cautious and keep your speed down. Many local authorities have taken steps to slow traffic down by creating traffic calming measures such as road humps. They're there for a reason: slow down. Question 45. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is D, end of 20 miles per hour zone. Where you see this sign, the 20 miles per hour restriction ends and a 30 miles per hour restriction starts. Check all around for possible hazards and only increase your speed if it's safe to do so. Question 46. What shape is a stop sign? The correct answer is D. To make it easy to recognize, the stop sign is the only sign of this shape. You must stop and take effective observation before proceeding. Question 47. In winter, road signs can become covered by snow. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is C, stop. The stop sign is the only road sign that's octagonal. This is so that it can be recognized and obeyed even if it's obscured, for example, by snow. Question 48. At traffic lights, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? The correct answer is D, stop at the stop line. When the amber light is showing on its own, the red light will follow next. The amber light means stop, unless you've already crossed the stop line or you're so close to it that stopping may cause a collision. Question 49. What does this sign mean? The correct answer is A, traffic lights out of order. You might see this sign where traffic lights are out of order. Proceed with caution, as nobody has priority at the junction. Question 50. What should you do when you're approaching traffic lights that have been green for some time? The correct answer is C, be ready to stop. The longer traffic lights have been green, the sooner they'll change. Allow for this as you approach traffic lights that you know have been green for a while. They're likely to change soon, so you should be prepared to stop.